Okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys my story of why I feel like I had to get the heck up out of Korea. Okay, so keep watching. Okay, it's story time. Okay, so as some of you know, I was in Korea for 1 year. I got there August in 2018. So if you do good in your school year at your school or schools, depending on your situation, the school will offer you to extend your contract. I did not. I was out. I'm gonna tell y'all why. Okay? Okay, so let's start in the beginning. So I got there, like I said, August 2018. That was the first time I had been out of the country, like to live in a country other than America. And they were I applied through a program who I knew was going to be helpful. So the whole orientation, and as far as like getting my apartment, my phone, my bank, all of that set up was good. It was helpful. However, I still had to learn the culture. I still had to learn the language. I still had to learn my surrounding areas, all of those things basically by myself. And so that's a lot. That's a lot for anybody going to a new country. And then I worked in not one, but two public schools, okay? And in the public schools, you don't have other foreigners. You are the only foreigner. I'm not gonna say in all public schools, but in my public school, I was the only foreigner. So it would be a lot of uncomfortable situations. Like, for instance, we would go to lunch, right? And they would just be talking in Korean. And at first, I used to try to like understand what they were saying and try to add something. And then I kind of got comfortable with like not understanding what they were saying. And I kind of liked it. It's like, oh my God, I don't have to act like I actually care what they're talking about. So I was like, I just eat my food and I go, and that's it. I don't have to entertain whatever conversation. So, and then there were like meetings I had to attend that were all in Korean, and I would just be like, why am I here? Why am I here? Okay. And then just simple things became complicated tasks because I was trying to learn Korean, but I didn't know that much. So communicating on a simple level was difficult. So go ahead and put that in there. So learning the language, number one. Two, learn the culture, okay? There, okay, how should I say this? I'm not gonna say anything specific. I'm just gonna say Korean culture is different from American culture. And there were certain things that were just confusing to me and that I had to adapt to. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there. And then, so yeah, so even though at some point I got kind of comfortable with not talking to my coworkers, after a while it did kind of feel isolating, because I remember when I was home, I talked to my coworkers all the time. Like we would have some deep ass conversations, just talking about a whole bunch of things, and I wasn't able to do that with my Korean coworkers. It was like very basic conversation like, oh, how are you? How's your weekend? It was good. Okay. And that was it. It was no, I mean, I tried to, but it didn't work, you know? And so, I don't know, for me that got kind of isolating. It did start to feel kind of isolating. Yeah, and the only time you kind of feel really comfortable is when you're with the other foreigners, right? So I started hanging around, like I kind of attached myself with a certain group of foreigners when I first got to Korea. And they just ended up not being the right group for me. We didn't really like to do the same things. So I had to find another group, you know. And wait, let me go back. So I said I had 2 schools, right? So when I would talk to my other English teacher friends, I had way more work than they did. Like, for real. Like, I'm not even complaining. I'm not, like, like, I had way more work than they did. Like, my teachers was not playing no games. Like, I had to do, like, real life teaching. Oh my gosh. And I had 2 schools. So, learning the language, learning the culture, trying to find the right groups of people, trying to travel, trying to be a good teacher, doing my and I forgot to add, I was also trying to be healthier, and I was trying to eat less meat. If you don't want to eat meat, Korea is maybe not the best place if you want to eat authentic Korean food a lot. They do have other options. There's like a vegan service. You can go to the market and get the vegetables and basically just cook at home. But Korea is a type of culture where they socialize by eating. So if I wasn't eating a lot of things, it was kind of difficult to socialize. Therefore, making my isolation even more, you know? So that was another factor. And then also, this again was just specific to my situation. I found that Koreans were very like tense and very stressed people, you know, like overall, obviously not everybody, but as a whole. And I was just like, I need a more relaxed environment with warmer weather and some fresh fruit. Okay? I was overwhelmed. I was so overwhelmed, man. I was like, it's a lot. It's a lot for me, you know? And so I decided to not extend my contract. Because basically my mindset was just bump Korea as a whole. Like South Korea as a whole isn't for me. It's too cold. I don't freaking like it, you know? And obviously I learned later, like, how you gonna X out the whole country? Cause your one school, your specific situation, like you could have moved to another city, but no, but I was like, nah. All Korea sucks. They all suck. I don't like it, right? Yeah, that was my story. So I left after 1 year. I was just really overwhelmed. I needed a break. I needed a freaking break. And I got that break. That's how I landed in Indonesia, where I am now. And that's a whole nother story. So maybe I'll tell that story another time. Thanks for watching.